Welcome back to the channel, guys. Game week 7 is nearly upon us, and if you're anything like me, it was a torrid game week 6. So let's take a look at how it went and how you can fix your wildcard 1 week after using the chip if you activated it last week. Let's get this video to 10 likes and subscribe to the channel for more FPL content. As usual, we're going to start with a game week 6 roundup. It's never nice to see a red arrow, but one on a wildcard game week is just even worse. It's a bitter pill to swallow. I got 48 points, and I'm on 409 total now. My rank dropped from 364k to 550k. We had a game week rank of about 5.4 million. I went Arsenal double defence on my wildcard, putting Raya and Gabriel in for their upcoming fixture run, and they conceded 2 goals to Leicester. To increase the frustration, they ended up getting a clean sheet against PSG in the Champions League midweek. Trent got a yellow card and they conceded a goal against Wolves, and Man City drew 1-1 to Newcastle, meaning Rico Lewis was on 2. So overall, my defence got 5 points. Saka was actually credited with an assist briefly, but it was taken off him at the end of the game. Rightly so in my opinion. But he ends his run of a return in every single game so far this season. And if I didn't captain Erling Haaland, it probably would have been him. So I can't be too mad about the captain blanking. The Aston Villa boys helped me out quite a bit. Watkins got a goal and an assist, and Rodgers got a goal as well. Mbeumo and Semenyo both got returns, scoring goals in both their respective fixtures. Diaz also blanked in their game against Wolves. Typical of Salah to go and start scoring again as soon as I take him out. All in all though, I really think we have to look at this logically. I know a red arrow on your wildcard game week is a bitter pill to swallow, but I don't think my team's in that bad of a shape. My advice to fixing your wildcard would be just to leave it. You had a plan, now stick to it. You shouldn't go tearing up your team. Focus on the players that have minutes risks or injury risks. Otherwise, you pick them for a reason. And playing your wildcard is not something you do for a 1 week benefit. So basically, my advice is just don't overreact and make rash decisions. A player with 40% ownership is not going to be scoring 4 goals every week. And more than likely, your captain's not going to blank every week either. Like I said, unless you've got problems with injuries or minutes risks, don't rush into making decisions. But if you have got some concerns about your team, genuine concerns, then go and check out my last video, Transfer Targets for Game Week 7. That'll give you a little bit more of an in-depth feel about what players are good to target this week. Speaking of things to target, and there's quite a few fixture swings this week. Man City are one of them. They've got Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth and Brighton in their next 5 games. It might even be the time to risk Pep Roulette and get 3 City players in. Obviously, my number 1 choice is Haaland. If you don't already have Haaland, then I would find a way to him. Guardiola and Lewis are great options in defence. Guardiola as a premium option and Lewis as a cheaper version. I wouldn't even be mad at people going double defence. Guardiola actually scored in game week 6 and he was playing really advanced at some points. And Rico Lewis was essentially playing in midfield. Pep seems to like him and has even complimented him, saying he's playing really well at the moment, so I can't see him being dropped. There is another player that I would consider, but it would be a big risk and it would be a huge differential to get Phil Foden in at 9.2 million before everyone else. I'm sure at some point Foden will be one of the first names on the team sheet. So if you can get in there 1 or 2 weeks before other managers, you're already up. Would be a gamble though, but he seems to be finding his feet. The next team is Ipswich. They play West Ham, Everton, Brentford and Leicester in their next 4 games. And after scoring 2 goals against Villa, Liam Delap could be a great option if you're looking for a cheap striker. Most people have to accommodate a £15 million striker in their team, and Liam Delap could be the kind of player to facilitate that budget. Leif Davis is also another great option, maybe not in a defensive term, but his attacking work rate is brilliant. He's a defender who managed to pick up bonus points in a game that they drew 2-2. That just shows you how much he was offering going forward. Leicester also have a reasonably nice run for their next few fixtures in Bournemouth, Southampton, Forest and Ipswich. And there's one player that I'm specifically looking at in this Leicester team. It's Mavididi. He's already scored twice this season, and his minutes are just going up and up. Another budget facilitator, he only costs 5.3 million. So if you're looking to get the likes of Haaland in still, or Cole Palmer for that matter, then he could be a really good option. Captaincy again. And although it didn't go so well for me in game week 6, I'm still choosing between the same 2 players, Saka and Haaland. It's always a risk to go against Haaland because of his effective ownership, but Saka probably has the best fixture he's going to have this season and of the game week. Southampton are the team that have conceded the most big chances this season with 21, and Saka, on the opposite side, is the player that's created the most big chances of anyone with 9. Haaland is predicted to get more points than Saka, but I just can't see the Southampton defence keeping Arsenal out. Sometimes you have to take calculated risks in FPL, and this could be a week to go away from captaining Haaland. Going into game week 7, and it's exactly the same team lineup as game week 6. Let's hope it does a lot better. We've got Raya and Gabriel, both in the Arsenal defence, playing Southampton at home. Now, if they don't get a clean sheet there, I think I might explode. Trent's in for their game against Crystal Palace, and Lewis is the first City player against Fulham. Saka is my third Arsenal player against Southampton at home, and at the moment he's the most likely to get the captain's armband, but I haven't fully decided yet. Rodgers is in, and Man United at the moment is not a very tough fixture, so I'm not really worried about that at all. And Buemo is in for their game against Wolves, and Semenyo is in for their game against Leicester. Diaz is the only player I am slightly worried about in this team at the moment. He's now started 3 games in a row, and he did start in the Champions League game. They also have the early kickoff, so I'm not sure whether he's going to start or not. Because it is the early game, I'm going to wait for news. Hopefully we'll get some early team news and we'll make a decision from there. But if he's not starting, I will look to get him out. My plan is to have Cole Palmer in by game week 12 when Chelsea's fixtures turn nicely again and Diaz isn't involved in those plans. So he's going to have to come out at some point anyway, and he's the obvious choice with the minutes risk. Unfortunately, I was just shy of taking Diaz out and putting Palmer in, and taking Trent out and putting Ait-Nouri in. It was about 0.2 million. But I'm not even sure I would have done that for a -4. The 2 real options I would be looking at would be to downgrade him to somebody like Mavididi for the long run fixtures so I can get somebody like Palmer in the future, or go to somebody like Gordon. The news at the moment is that Isak's not back, so that means Gordon will be playing up top and he'll be on penalties. All that being said, the plan is to roll the transfer, but if Diaz isn't starting, then there has to be a backup plan. Is he really going to blank 2 weeks in a row? I'm just not sure. And the same as Rodgers, Watkins is in against Man United because they are awful at the moment and he only played about 70 minutes in the Bayern Munich game, so he should be fresh for the weekend. Anyway, guys, that's the Game Week 7 team selection. Let me know what you think of my team in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more FPL content throughout the season. Fingers crossed for a green arrow, and I'll catch you in the next one.